Welcome to Win in Life Wednesday, a podcast where we talk to business owners in the green industry to hear about their business, their life, and everything that they got going on to help you go out there and win in your life. I'm your host, Cornell Mack, and I do the On the Attack with Mac podcast, and this is a Mac Attack Media production. Tonight, we are going to be talking to one of my good friends in the industry. He is a light bringer, and he is the original LBC member. We got tonight my man, Marcus Tate, the LBC OG from Seeds Landscaping down there in Gaffney, South Carolina. I'm gonna say North Carolina. It's a live show. You know how we do here on the Attack with Mac podcast. But I'm excited to talk to Marcus Tate, hear about Papa Bob's Peach Farm and all of the cool things that Marcus has been doing since he started his business, and hear about how he got into business, what he did prior to this, because I know that stuff is the most relatable to you. So without further ado, let me bring my homeboy in here, the LBC OG, Mr. Marcus Tate. What's going on with you, homie?
What's going on? Nothing much. Glad to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. Real quick, we got Larissa Tate, my sister, in the building on Instagram. D's Lawn Service in the building. Catchpaw LLC in the building. Spencer's Lawn Care, North Carolina in the building. DeVito Lawn Care, they're here from here in Pittsburgh. My man CR Lawn from up there in Wisconsin. That's my man Rick, and Lope Dog is my little brother. What's up, Carvis Johnson?
Oh,
How are
wow.
you? Tonight we are gonna hear from my man Marcus Tate, the LBC OG. So before we get into all of the fun stuff and maybe some of the sad stuff, Marcus Tate, tell everyone how long you've been in business, what do you specialize in, and yeah, all that rundown.
Okay. Of course, Marcus Tate, Seas Landscaping LLC. This will be my going into my fourth year full time. Um, Prior to this, I was a preschool teacher. From preschool teacher to in the school system, doing some managerial work. Um, just decided to leave my job and go forward with a dream, and also I think a purpose in life, to do something that, I mean, not saying that the school wasn't fulfilling, but I think now, what I'm saying, I have something that I can do that's relatable to me, relatable to where I came from. And also, we'll talk a little bit more about my Papa Bob and how we got going that way. But we do, mainly we're right now doing lawn maintenance. We do pine straw mulch, and a few other odd jobs, pruning, seasonal things for clients like right now. So
That's fair. I know. I already knew that you were a teacher, but what we do here, I like to hear what people did prior to starting a business, and then what their win in life is. Because you already know how I
mm,
feel, Marcus Tate. Your win is your
mhm,
win. I want to know what it is. But the
mhm,
stories that people share, what they did prior to getting into this, and then the I don't know, awakening that happens once you do get into this, and then
right.
the wins that come after that. So preschool is wild. How did you get into being a teacher before you got into lawn care?
Okay, so going to college, straight out of high school, back then it's like, you gotta go to college, gotta go to college, gotta go to college. And I'm like, what in the world I want to do? And I told my mom, I said, hey mom, I want to work with my hands. But at that time, like back in when I graduated high school was '02. So when I graduated, it's like, business was not like entrepreneurship was not like proclaimed in my household. Like, it's like you go to college, you get a job, and that's what you do. So I love children. A lot of my family members are teachers. So my aunt's a teacher. Her husband was a principal. My my aunt on my grandma's side is a teacher. So we come from a long line of like teachers and people that are in the educational field. And I said, well, shoot, let me try this. So started out wanting to be a school principal. So I've never shared that. So I wanted to be a school principal. Um, and I was gonna start kind of the slow way, kind of start up from preschool, getting certifications, things of that nature. So um, to kind of speed up the story, I went to two different colleges, got in my last year, and there's like a main exam that you have to pass. And so didn't pass it right off, but then I started working up to it, and I was able to work into a preschool program called Head Start. So when I got into Head Start, I enjoyed it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I had all of my educational credits, I had business credits. And so they said, well, we can start you off as a 4-year-old teacher. And I said, cool. Like, that's what I wanted to do. So they put me in a training program where they had me actually shadow my wife. Like my wife is a dope teacher.
That's
She's a dope.
wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I got in the classroom and I'm like, oh, I like this. I said, I like this. So, and I shouted her for, she may tell it, I think it was a week, maybe 3 or 4 days. And she showed me the ropes. Then with some more training, and they train like in education, you get training, like you get trained on ins and outs, safety protocols, all of that nature. So she got trained up and I stuck with it for like 7 years. And then I became the first preschool teacher of the year in South Carolina as a male, as an African American male. I was the first
Wow.
preschool teacher, and they did like a big write up. I actually was talking about this today. Thank you. And I was talking about this today with some teachers because I go back to the school when it's slow and do some consulting work. But they say, yeah, he was the first male African American in South Carolina to be a Head Start Teacher of the Year. And they did a whole write up, Cornell, man. They came to the school. We have a newspaper because I worked in Spartanburg, and it was the Spartanburg Herald Journal. So they came and they had notified us that we're coming to the school, we're coming to see what you do and all that XYZ. I wish I had a clip. I got like a clip. I may post a picture of it. But so they did a whole article, like front page of like the Spartanburg like newspaper. I was like humbled. And it said Head Start teacher teaches seeds of success.
Wow.
And yes, it's seeds of
Whoa.
success. So it was almost like seeds was always like working into like my future. So and on that article, and I'll start on that article. They came, they took pictures, and I started a school garden. And we planted a pretty good sized garden. We planted like tomatoes, we planted cucumbers, hot peppers, mild peppers. Like we had a nice garden, and so they took pictures of the garden. They had me and the kids out there. I was posing. It was nice though, man. So, but I started out there, had good success, I would say, as a teacher, and then transitioned from there to kind of doing some help with teachers, managing the school, things of that nature. I kind of work closely with the school director.
Yeah, I like the fact that you brought up the counselors and stuff because it's funny whenever we were growing up. I'm 42. How old are you, Marcus?
41.
All right, so Marcus is 41. So we grew up in the exact same era. And I vividly remember the guidance counselors. You got to go to
Hmm.
college. You got to go to college. I don't know if that's still the case now. There's so much information out here now, Marcus. When we was young, we just accepted that the teachers knew what they were talking about. And I'm not saying that the
Hmm.
teachers had any ill will or bad intentions to us. They was telling us what worked in the past.
Right.
The past is the past though, and now it's not the only thing. It ain't the end all be all because a lot of the people that I know, Marcus, you actually had a destination, and that's why you had a vision. You wanted to be a principal. And a lot of people, whenever they're in high school, they don't have the vision for the rest of their life yet. And so when they're told that they have to go to college, and now you're an 18-year-old, 17, 18-year-old kid, and you don't really know what do I want to be in this world.
Hmm.
I'm happy that
Hmm.
you had something, but me personally, I ain't have nothing, bro. So they telling me I got to go to college, and I'm like, I don't even like school. So I guess this just means I'm gonna be, whatever. But now. we got the internet. And now we got people who left teaching jobs like Marcus, who wanted to
Right.
be a principal because that was his vision, but God got a different vision sometimes, most of the time. And so to hear that now, we got the internet and people can just know that that ain't necessarily true for everyone. Because if you know where you want to go, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be something that requires
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
college degree, by all means, you need to go after that. But if you're someone who doesn't know, man, get into these trades, start a lawn
Mhm.
care business, start power washing, start something that you can start making some money now, because you don't want to waste. In some cases, people want to go to out of state college or whatever, and their tuition is astronomical, and then they go get a
Money.
criminal justice degree, and they don't want to work for the police department or the FBI or the CIA. And so now you just got a criminal justice degree that really don't mean nothing, and you paid, 40 to 90,000, $200,000, depending on where you go to school at for that. So I'm happy that you mentioned that. But hey, I mean, now you done started Seeds Landscaping
Exactly.
and got in the business. But your early years, you had a powerful mentor, that I
Mhm.
know planted seeds inside of your brain, your heart, and your soul that eventually led
Mhm.
you to starting Seeds Landscaping and getting into the green industry. So tell us a little bit about Papa Bob and how he inspired you and taught you, so that you knew you could make it out here doing this stuff.
Right, and you're exactly right. Like those seeds that he sown were the seeds that drawed me out to my business today. And so growing up, I grew up in the house with my grandfather, grandmother, and my mom. So, we were all together there. And so, my pop, he was the type of man, he was like a man's man. Like he was outside, he was chopping wood, he was like, you know what I'm saying? When his profession was, he was a peach farmer. And there's a big farm here in Gaffney, Cowpens. They kind of intertwine. But in Cowpens, there's a big peach farm that he worked on. And he started when he was like, I think he was telling me 16, maybe 13, 16, 14, maybe somewhere around there. Because back then sometimes the boys had to help bring money into the house. And so he was a male, and like he didn't finish um high school. So he left to go to work. Like, but he was like super successful. Like, but so from the seeds that he sown, I would watch him get up early. I would watch him come in late. I would watch him work hard for his family. I would watch him plant gardens. We would do bush hogging, like all the things that I like love today, all the things that I saw him do. And he had his job, but I really think he could have had his own business too. But he worked his job and he worked on the side as well. So like he would go out and see, this is where I came in the mix. So in the summertime, you have all that summertime off, and normal kids, they just get to like chill. But not me. And not my Papa Bob. So he would get me up early in the morning on Saturdays, and we would go out and we would sow yards. So he would take his tractor, he'd plow field up, we'd be spreading seed, picking up rocks, like sowing yards. We would be doing bush hogging. So he would go out, he would plant gardens for people. He would till gardens for people. Um, and so I was the one. What I would kind of ask them, if we had to go back and do extra work, I would be the one to go back and do the extra work. So and then whatever money he got, he said, "Hey, boy, this your money, so I like that."
Yeah,
So, so we would do it like that. But the thing that he sold into me was a will to work and probably never to give up, because I
mm,
never seen him quit.
that's
Never
fire,
seen him
bro.
quit.
That's fire. Whenever you first started the business and you got into doing this stuff, what were some of the mistakes that you had? Because we were talking earlier before we hit record, and you was like, "Are you still there?" Boy, you just went black on us. Can you hear me,
Can you hear me?
Marcus? I can hear you, yeah,
Yep,
but
I
we
hear you.
can't see you anymore. disappeared. Uh,
Okay. I think
but you
it's
were
coming
talking.
back.
Okay, you were talking about some mistakes and limiting some mistakes, but at the beginning of your business, we all make mistakes. I know one of my biggest mistakes was coming out the gate starting at 25 and $30. So what were some mistakes that you encountered at the beginning of your business?
Well, I have a prime example today, and I actually wrote it into a note. And I mean, so this is kind of what people don't really talk about is the mistakes.
Mm.
Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, we can hear you. Your just screen is just black.
Okay. All right. So, and I told my wife about it. So I'll tell you what happened. So I have a client, and I had some work that I didn't schedule in, but I told this client that I would do XYZ within a time frame. I
Mm.
didn't get it done. And huh, and this one hurt. Uh, my client calls me and says, uh, you had scheduled a date with me, and we missed the date. And they asked me, did they need to get somebody else?
Ooh.
So so this is what I did. So this is what we have to do. I looked at myself and I said, self, what did you do wrong? Because normally this doesn't happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not follow through with what I said. And it was a major mistake. I apologized to the client. And me and this client, we have a very good rapport. Apologize to the client. I said, I'll be there Friday if this works for you. They said it works for
Mm.
me. And the thought came to my mind is to limit the mistakes. And I wrote this, and I like to write sometimes. And I said, in business, we love to show how successful we become, but sometimes we hold our mistakes as secrets.
Mm.
These are lessons that are the lessons that teach us how to be successful. Because at that time in our business, we have to learn from every mistake. We learn from every point in our business that we don't succeed. So major businesses, and when I sometimes I go back and study businesses, a lot of these major businesses have failed tremendously before they hit the top. And a lot of times we just see the shininess, like we see the 10-second clip. We see the clip where, like, they have $1 million business, you got 12 trucks, they got like all these people working for them. And a lot of times the mistakes are like erased. But the
Mm.
mistakes are erased when you become successful
Yes.
because you made the mistakes lessons. And it was four things that I put down that I have to do better for myself is owning mistakes, learning from past failures, learning from your current failures, and having those lessons and being transparent about them. You have to be transparent to yourself and then people that you trust. Like, you call people, we talk about these things and say, hey, man, I failed too. I did this too. And so, but this helps us win in life, because this will happen again. I already know it won't happen again. And I've learned from this mistake. I felt bad when they said that. When I tell you, I felt bad. And I said, never again. And I said, this will be something that I can teach from. This will be something that I can grow from. You can't never get too big. And sometimes I value our relationship, knowing that I still got time. And I give them another week. I give them another
Mm-hmm.
week. We good. We on good terms. But another thing I learned, you got to keep business business. And you got to
Yes.
keep friendships friendships. So
Yeah.
that's one lesson I learned.
I like that. And you're gonna make mistakes, man. I know I told the story before about me taking on a job that I didn't have the expertise to take on. I underbid it, bid it at $400. It took me 4 days to do it. I had to hire somebody to help me, and I lost big time on that, right? But this is why you transparency is huge, because so many people are on the internet and they're only showing the glitz and the glamour, right? And I've told stories of me catching lawnmowers on fire. I got audited because I wasn't doing my taxes the right way. Like all of these things, they can happen, especially if you don't know to look out for them, because people ain't really giving you the real. You know what I mean? If you think everything is all glitz and glamour, man, then you're gonna be sold, waterfront property in the middle of the country, and there ain't none. You know what I mean? So this is why I believe these type of shows are good, is because you get to hear from the regular people. Man, I ain't really got we can't compete with the Amazons of the world, right? They're just huge. But talking to the people who are right now, when
Hmm.
the person watching this is working a job, maybe they're a teacher, Marcus, and maybe things ain't panning out for them, and they're like, "Where do I go from here, man? You could come outside with us." Ain't nothing stopping you, man. It's unlimited
Right.
it's unlimited opportunities out here, but I understand it is going to be more difficult than you think. You don't just come out here and say, "Hey, I'm gonna start a business," and then boom, your phone just lights up and rings. No, it's actually quite opposite of that. When I first started my business, nobody knew what I was doing until I put some stuff on the internet. And when I did that, and people's like, "Oh, Mac does this. Well, let me hit him up." But at the beginning, there was virtually no calls. But you do got to limit your mistakes. What did you do to correct that? Are you still telling people like time frames, or are you giving them an estimated time frame so that they know it could take a little longer, or whatever? How'd you handle this mistake?
Okay, well, I've started to give it. I'm giving estimated time frames,
Mm,
especially for like this time of the year because I'm not every day, out there. So I give an estimated time frame and making sure that I schedule them and put things in my phone under my schedule, or either scheduling them in my CRM, which is Jobber. So, the thing is, and this is something that we're doing this year, me and Larissa, we're our say theme, but one of our things is we're gonna plan better.
mm,
So, and for me in the business part is planning better out route, planning my one-off schedules, or either my just routine maintenance. Like, we can call this what I'm doing for her, um taking down some Bermuda, bagging
mhm.
it up, hauling it off stuff, getting it ready for the spring. But getting those type of jobs already lined up and not just waiting to the week of. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Yeah.
times we have so much going. It's like week of, oh, who can I do? Okay, Monday I can do her. Tuesday I can do him. Thursday I can do 3, 4 right here. But no, I need to be more planned out ahead. And I know that's hard to say, and sometimes it's hard to do, but it flows better. Like when I know, like next week, I got 2 jobs. The week
Mhm.
after that, I got 3 jobs. Like having that scheduled plan ahead, it works. And one thing that we did after the first of the year, me and Larissa did, we did a planning, like a planning day. So we took a day, a morning, we got together, we got like our businesses and a few other things, of course, church and things, and we put them all in like a calendar. And
Mm.
so we plan for the next 3 months. And so we have a calendar. I got dates in my phone. I got date nights in my phone. Like this is something that we haven't done, and we've been married and well, we've been together 17 years. So, and this is the first time we're doing it. Like, so, it takes time to get here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's possible. And it's possible even when you make mistakes and even when things happen, you know what I'm saying? It's possible to get to a place where um you're more efficient And that's what, I think this year for us is going to be, is to be more efficient in Seas Landscaping with my wife's business, with our personal home, and with our marriage.
I really like that because it's funny. Last year, Captain Jack and I, we got started on our mulch really early in the year, but because we never made it through all of it. I got so much commercial mulch. We ended up getting to the rest of it towards the end, like end of the summer, which is really, really late. But I've recently seen a reel by Mike Andes. I call him he's like a robot. This dude is so smart. Mike Andes is a brilliant dude from Augusta Lawn Care, whatever. He has all the franchises and everything. But one of the
Mhm.
things he said was, and this is something that if you don't currently do this, I'm gonna start doing it this year. Marcus Tate already said he's gonna start doing it this year. But what he said was, is I have all of these properties that are already under contract, right? And so what Mike said was, is basically what they do is they try and get all of their contracted people, whether it's residential, commercial, or whatever, if you are already on their roster, they try and get your stuff done as early in the year as possible so that when the phone starts ringing during the spring, you're not strapped with the stuff that you could have done already. Right now, you can open up the books and open up that schedule to add in even more revenue. So that was something that I wasn't doing. We were like waiting till, you know, March to start doing the cleanups. Now we get through all of our cleanups. Now it's time to start doing mulch and everything. And now when the new people call, we can't take them on because we're taking on this, and that's cool to have stuff that's already locked in. But if you could get that stuff done earlier and then open up your schedule, because now we are actually adding things to the schedule and make sure they're
Mhm.
done, in a reasonable time, you can add in more revenue that way. So that's something that we're doing. I encourage you to do it as well. And since Marcus Tate brought it up, if you are having trouble scheduling things, I have a code for a jobber. Give you a 14-day free trial with the code that is down in the link in the description or in any of my social medias. You will see a jobber code. It will give you a 14-day free trial of what I believe is the best CRM for what I do, and which is basic general lawn maintenance, snow removal, and stuff like that. And you can schedule your stuff, route your stuff, take payments online, set up automated payments. That's what I do. And that's how you get to the stress free lawn care life and snow removal life like I do. Again, if you are looking for a CRM, now that Marcus Tate is back visual again, if you're looking for a CRM, you can use my code. It is go.getjobber.com/Mac, I believe. I don't know, but there's a code down in I can't remember it off the top of my head. I think that's what it is, but there's a code and all of the stuff down there. Jobber is a fire CRM, and I recommend that you use it. I am not only a user. I forget how that goes. I'm a user. I was at the hair club for men thing from back in our day. You remember that? You know what else
Mhm.
is funny, Marcus? This is a little off subject. You remember back in the day they used to have that ice cream commercial
Oh
of
yeah.
with the it looked and they would eat it out of a little cup with the silver spoon, Vincenetta or something like that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
can't remember, but I know what you're
I
talking
I
about.
always wanted that ice cream. I never had it. That would have been a win in life. Before we transition, tell me, Marcus, because wins in life, I think they're different for everyone. Lawn care, power wash, and service businesses, I call them the vehicle. Whatever your
Mhm.
business is, that's the vehicle to get you to your win in life. If having $1 million business is a win in life for you, awesome. I'm all for that. But that isn't the case for everyone. But so, Marcus, for you, what is a win in life that isn't business, but that your business helps you to accomplish?
Oh man, that is great. I'm glad you asked that question. I think that win in life is being able to connect with all of the people that I've met in the industry and friends like you, Cornell. That's the biggest win, I think. And also being able to send out the word of the week. Like that has connected me with so many people. We've had conversations. Um, I've gained relationships, and that's been a major win because for me, it was just for me to kind of encourage myself at the beginning of the week. It's like, this is a focus, this is an aim, this is where I think I need to be going. Like, and I just, think on something positive for the week. And I started sending it out, and other people started like grabbing it. Like, I was just sending it, nobody was responding, but I started really sending it to you. Um, uh, and I think Cedric and maybe two other people, maybe Lamar Harrison. And so, but, and then it became like, you have all these people that you're friends with or you follow. Why not send it to them? And I'm like, oh, shoot, okay. So I started sending it out, sending it out, sending it out. And so, sometimes people don't respond. And then sometimes people do respond and say, hey, you know, the word of the week is late. Like, what happened? I'm like, oh, I didn't even know y'all really was like looking at it, So, but that's a big win for me is being able to connect with other like-minded people, because through my connections, like I've gained like relationships, I've gained connections, and most importantly, I've gained friends.
Hey, that's fire. I'll never forget. I can't remember the first one you sent me, but you were sending them like, and so now that you have done that and I've acknowledged it, and you have a segment on the show and everything, Marcus, a lot of people send me stuff like that. But you were the first, and so I know that people do it now because it encourages me, and I pour out a lot. This is not about me, but I pour out a lot, and sometimes it could get to a point where you're like, how I don't know if I have more to give. And I felt
Mm.
like that one day. I felt like that. I was like, I was talking to Cedric, and when I first started doing live shows with him, and then I started doing YouTube videos, and then the video started to get views, and then I started to get bombarded with DMs on Instagram, comments on YouTube, emails, phone calls to my work phone. It was something that I never expected. And I used to tell Cedric, like, this is burning me out because I'm trying to respond to everybody because people are important. If you felt like a video or something that you heard me say on a podcast or whatever helped you enough that you then emailed me or DM me or commented on one of my videos or anything like that, I feel it's my duty to respond back to you. And I try to do it as fast as possible. If sometimes people get responses back in a second, sometimes it might take a day or two. But I remember being burnt out, and then boom, I get a DM from you. And I can't remember exactly what the word was because it wasn't. I don't know if it was named word of the week.
Now,
If you had named it
it was
that
just
yet.
a video. Like, it would be I would take a
Yeah,
video, and then I would like put like kind of what it meant to me, and it'd be like kind of inspirational type. That.
yeah, and when that happened, I'll never forget. It was just like I needed this. Like, thank you, Marcus. And then it wasn't that long after that that I was like, yo, would you mind if since you send these to me, and I know I'm not the only person you send them to, would you mind if I said these on the show? And you was like, nah. You know what I mean? And so when I started to do it, that's what I'm saying. That's when people started to send it in. I don't want to say it got annoying because it's never annoying to get a DM. It's very, very special to me every time someone DMs me. But it is like a lot of those things. I'm like, man, sometimes I don't even, I just see, is it a comedy one or is it inspirational one? And I might heart it or I might like it. But those things are dope. And I know that they mean stuff to people because I know I'm not the only person that gets it. So if you're one of the people who's lucky enough that Marcus sends you that thing, and we just lost the visual again, if you're not lucky enough, man, DM him and tell him you want to be a part of it. And don't maybe he'll get a little burnt out too, but no, it is powerful, and I know it helps a lot of people. But Marcus, we met down at Equip Expo on at I want to say it was like the YouTube
I
round last
lost you.
weekend.
See.
You can't hear me? Let me know. This is unfortunate, man. When you're doing stuff on the internet,
Oh
sometimes
man,
the
can't
uh,
hear.
sometimes the we have technical difficulties, and I'll have to filibuster uh, for a little while. But whenever I met Marcus down at Equip Expo, we were I was every time I go to Equip Expo, it's like, I'm back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like Cat Williams said his son used to be. As soon as you wake up in the morning, all he's thinking about is running. If you know what I'm talking about, if you know, you know. And that's how I was. And so I was getting all my camera stuff. I had all this stuff in a book bag and everything. And I was getting it all ready. And Marcus Tate came up to me, him and his wife, and he was like,
Come
"What's
back
up?
in.
I'm Marcus, and I love what you do." And we just got to talking throughout that night. And then I had to change batteries out, and he was like, I want to start making some content too. And at the time, I had just got the GoPro 12, I believe. I had started with a GoPro 10, and then I upgraded to the GoPro 11, and then the GoPro 12 came out. I also had an 8, GoPro 8. So I gave the GoPro 8 to my homie Talon, a 25-year-old rock star now. And then I gave the GoPro 9 to Marcus. As he was saying, "Man, we just lost it." Yeah. And then I gave the GoPro 9 to Marcus Tate. And then that same time, I gave the GoPro 10 to Cedric. So I gave all 3 GoPros at the same Equip Expo. And I had just met Marcus. I didn't even know him yet. But he had said he wanted to do something on the internet. And I'm like, yeah, because here's the thing. Whenever I first started making videos and everything, I thought that people were going to be in more like a competition type thing. Like if you watch Brown Fullerton and you watch Naylor or Paul or me, that we're all in competition. And when I reached out to Brian, he was like, "Here's this, and this information." Naylor, this, and this information. Like all of the people who were making the content already, Sean and TQ Spencer, Johnny Blades of Grass, BYD, Lawn Care Juggernaut, all of these people was just like, "Here, let me tell you this, let me tell you that." And so me coming into it, I always talk about sports. So I'm very, very competitive. Like I want to win. Okay. And so I was coming into this like I want to have more followers or subscribers or whatever than Brian. But then his attitude towards me made it so it's like, why would you want to be in competition with your friend who wants to help you? And it changed my entire how I felt. I already had a friends group in Pittsburgh with Pipes and Talon and my man Steve-O and my man Oz. We already had like a tight friends group, but so I did like it wasn't a competition here, but then I thought it might be a competition, but it was never like that. And so whenever someone says something to me, I'd be like, "Yo, here's the information," because it was given to me. This information was given to me. What I look like holding it away from someone else when someone so easily gave it to me. So I'm like, yeah, this is the camera I use. This is the settings that I use. Here's the mics that I got. I got this GoPro Volta thing, so it's another battery. Like we got all these different things, and I'm like, here. Well, I ain't even know
I'm
Marcus
in.
Tate, my man.
I
I
can
ain't even
hear
know.
you.
You can't hear me? Oh,
I
okay,
can.
cool. I ain't
Okay.
even really know I ain't even know Marcus. I ain't know he was from South Carolina. I only knew his wife's first name, and she had to explain how to say it the correct way and all this stuff. And I was like, "Here,
Yeah.
bro, here go this $400 GoPro. Rock
Yeah.
out, man. Let me see what you want to create because it's not about competition, man. It's about collaboration. And the more you collaborate with others, the faster you're going to win in life. Nobody wins by themselves. Michael Jordan don't got 6 championships and he was playing 1-on-5. Tom Brady don't got 7 rings and he was playing 1-on-53. No, man. Wayne Gretzky don't got 4 Stanley Cups in a row and he was playing 1-on-5. Derek Jeter don't have 4 rings and he was playing 1-on-9 and he had to pitch and play all the catching like all the positions. No, you need a team around you, right? And so how do you have a team around you? It ain't by being like, yo, I'm gonna hold the information to myself, or I'm gonna step on this person so I could get a leg up. Nah, bruh. It's about holding out that ladder, throwing that life preserver to someone, helping them to come on up to the same level as you. Cause life is too short to hold shit to yourself, bro. And so me and Marcus Tate, we got real tight. Our wives are super tight. It's just a beautiful relationship. But now that we've got through those technical difficulties, and I hope that you have remained entertained while Marcus figured out his technical difficulties. We talked about some mistakes that you made, Marcus. We talked
Right.
about what you believe a win in life is, and tell us about how business is this year, and what are you looking to do with your business besides be more organized.
Okay. So this year, I really want to hone down on the books far as being about adding more people this year. Um Potentially looking for a part-time person, potentially. I've had my godson and he comes through. When I need somebody, he comes through. When he's not working, he comes through. He helps me out, and that's been great. And I've seen where having a person is phenomenal. And it's just like you said, Cornell. When you have like a team member, like the workload intensifies. Like it's like the Belgium horse is like, I mean I think I'm pretty good, and I've learned the ropes with this, and I'm very efficient in what I do, and I've learned my properties. But when you can have somebody that can go and they can just trim while you cut, that's like it's killer. Or either you trim while they cut, like that's killer. So um trying to add maybe a part-time person. I definitely want to purchase a another piece of equipment, whether it be a 36 or a 54. Um, Looking to actually want to put Steve's landscaping on the side of the truck. I'm gonna get that done this year. So I did upgrades last year. I did the trailer, truck painted, mock-ups on that. So I'm gonna put the whole, we're gonna be a rolling banner this year. So with the number and stuff. So I think I can handle the increase because a lot of times, and I'm not trying to boast or brag, but I don't have to market too much because a lot of people know me, and when they see me in the area, it's like, hey, Tate, man, can you come do X, Y, Z? And sometimes I tell them no, like, I mean, I'm just by myself. So once I get this out, I know I'm gonna have to like, it's gonna have to be grow mode, and you said, hey, Tate, don't be afraid to step out, don't be afraid to go for it. Just do it and try it. And that's what I appreciate from you, Cornell. You tell me to go, and sometimes I do, and a lot of times I'm like but you say go, Tate. And so you know what I'm saying, this year is gonna be a year where we're gonna go, and we're gonna try some new things, we're gonna push ourselves.
You know why I say that to people because I see the world in sports. That's how I see things, and I
Hmm.
believe that you got to shoot the ball. My daughter she had her first JV win last night. Thank the Lord. I mean, they've been losing and losing and losing, but they won their first JV game last night. And she would get the ball, she wouldn't dribble. She would get the ball in position to shoot, she wouldn't shoot. And I used to tell her like, listen, everybody on your team misses shots. Everybody on your team turns the ball over when they're dribbling. This is a game where you're going to make mistakes, but you got to learn from them.
There you
But if
go.
you don't shoot and if you don't dribble, you
Mm,
can't help your team.
mm,
We're on a team. I got a team. My wife, 3 kids. That's my team, right? They need dad to be shooting the damn ball because there's 3 pointers out here for us all the time. All the time.
mhm.
All the time. Last night, my daughter, for this whole year, she's been dribbling and she's been shooting. And last night, she had a career high 13 points in her JV game. She banged out
Ooh-wee.
three. She shot three threes. She shot 5 for 8. She had an assist, three rebounds, 2 steals. She did have also 2 turnovers, but that was her career high. Why? Because she shot the ball. It can't go in unless you shoot it. You can't be successful unless you try, unless you start. And so when I hear someone say they got an idea, the reason I say go is because there's been so many times, Marcus, that I haven't gone, that I
Mm,
passed the shot up and I see how long it took me to get another shot. So
right.
what if this is your only shot that you got, like Eminem said?
Mm.
You're gonna throw up mom spaghetti and go out here and go do this thing. Let's go. Marcus, you got me on one tonight, Marcus Tate. This is why the LBC OG had to be here. Um,
I needed it.
so you're wanting to get another employee. That means there's going to be new people, but new opportunities that you would like to come your way. But the only way to get
Exactly.
those opportunities is to market your business. So there's some people in here new that this is their first year, their second year. And the one of the main questions I always get, Marcus, is Mac, how do
Mhm,
I get more customers? Now I've explained it
mhm,
before on here, but what are you going to be doing to get more customers? And if you're listening and you just started your business this year or you started it last year and you want to get more, this is time to take some notes or save this episode or save this video or share it to yourself. Share it to a friend who's out here because Marcus is about to tell us his plan on how he's going to get new customers. Let's hear it.
the first thing, customer service. If your customer service, your follow up, your intentionality with your with your client, if it's on point, that is like 80%. Okay. Secondly, is your quality of work. If you have great customer service and you have great, excellent, superb work, they're going to keep you. Then they're going to tell their sisters at church, they're going to tell their coworkers at work, they're going to tell their friends, they're going to tell their neighbors because they're going to ask, people are going to ask, they're going to say, who is cutting your yard? I've seen a change since last year you had company ABC. This year you have these landscaping. Tell me, give me their number, and they will call. I'm telling you, that is how I have actually gained a lot of my clients is through word of mouth. I have one route that I've gained five, potentially six in the same neighborhood just by starting at one. The neighbor from the right, the neighbor across the street, and then the neighbor across the street on their right, one on the next road or across from in the same neighborhood. They've all seen me, and they're gonna watch you. I've always said this: if you're in an area for a year, make sure you do. I mean, don't skip no corners. Don't make sure up and do.
This is
Don't.
crazy, man.
Oh man, I'm back. Can
All
you hear
right, I
me?
can hear you. Keep going. Yeah, we can hear you.
So if you continue to do that, if you continue to um be consistent on that yard, the next year you're at least gonna gain one or two people because they're watching. People are always watching. Whether you're picking up trash, whether you're leaving something in the yard, whether you do something that you're not supposed to do. They're like, oh, why did he do that? Like people are peeking out the blinds, like looking and
You
watching
just
you.
made me
So
think of something.
you have to be consistent in your quality of work and consistent with your customer service. Those will make you successful.
I love it, man, and I like what you just said. There's going to be people watching. Listen, another thing I told my daughter, I record every one of her games. All right, I'm gonna tie this in. I record every one of her games, and then we watch them together. And guess what?
Mm,
We can see everything. So I can see
mm,
if she don't jog, if she's jogging instead of sprinting. I can see if she's in help defense when she should be denied, or if she's in denial when she should be in help. I can see if she should have shot the ball or if she should have passed it. We can see everything. People are always watching. And I told her this: listen, if you want to get on the court, play defense. Right? This is the beginning strategy to getting
mm,
in the game. And this ain't about basketball. I'm telling you about this is about lawn care. If you want to get in the game, be consistent when you get in. So when you get that first client, now that's the first couple minutes that you gonna get. Coach is gonna give you. That's the first couple minutes. And guess what? If with those first couple minutes you do a great job, guess what? Next game, coach might give you a couple more minutes. That might be your second yard. And if you're consistent with more minutes, if you handle the small stuff, then that entitles you to the big stuff. That's in the Bible. Marcus Tate might even know the Bible verse. He's very well versed when it comes to that. But you got to start small and then stay consistent throughout the process. Don't cut corners because people are watching. They got the game tape. They got it. So you might as well do your best and have the integrity
Mhm.
inside your own self to know I did this. And that is the truth. The truth is I did my absolute best. And guess what? The coach can see it. And in this case, the coach is your customer. All they
You go.
want is for you to hustle. You gonna miss shots sometimes. That don't mean you're not gonna make a mistake. You might scalp the yard. But if you've been consistently doing superb work, that one time you scalp, which could be a turnover in a basketball game or interception in a football game, the coach ain't gonna just take you out. But if you've been consistently scalping
Hmm.
yards, you've been consistently throwing interceptions or having turnovers, guess where you gonna be? You're gonna be on the bench. So be consistent. Now, what are some other things that you're going to do besides show your quality of work, Marcus? When it comes to marketing the business, are you going to try some new stuff this year that maybe you haven't tried in the past? And we got 8 minutes left because this cuts the Instagram people off
Okay,
at
gotcha.
1 hour. So
All right. So, one other thing I was gonna add is probably give me some door hangers.
yeah,
And try to kind of get into a specific neighborhood. So, like,
hmm
I'm in a few neighborhoods, but there's some neighborhoods that I would really like to gain more customers in and just kind of get my route a little more dense in that area. So I'm looking at seeing if door hangers will work. So when I'm on the yard where I on the route where I have like six. So I'm gonna hit everybody else around. Boom, 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 boom. Just to get some feelers out. And then that will really condense down some things that I have. So and I have a few neighborhoods that are more idealistic, for the business. And you'll learn, we'll learn in business, it's a certain client that you can kind of see yourself having. And once you know that client, then you can say, okay, this is the client I want. They're in this neighborhood and this is where I want to be. So I'm trying to get into places where I want to be. I don't want to be everywhere because that's pointless, but I want to condense down, be more precise, and get those door hangers in areas where I want to be.
that's fire. That's fire. Well, Marcus, let's just land the plane here. What advice would you give to new people that are in the industry that will keep them whenever times get tough or they make that first big mistake? I remember one time I cut through a AC line. AC line got cut while we were servicing the property, and we had to replace that thing. So make sure you have the proper insurances. That's one of the things.
Exactly.
But what are some advice you would give to someone who's new in the business uh, that will help them out?
Okay. When you're new, you have to have a point of focus. So some people say you sometimes you have to have the end in mind.
Hmm
So you have to have where you're going to know where you need to be. So for anybody that's new in business, um, make sure you know your purpose because it's gonna get hot. Things are gonna happen. You're gonna make mistakes. But when you make mistakes, don't consider yourself a failure. Use your mistakes to learn from those. And so write a plan. Hey, I did this today. The next time in business, this won't happen. We'll make the necessary adjustments and we'll move forward. But having your focus on where you want to be, um, and one of the easiest focus that you can put on your mind is your family. Someone that you're doing it for. Like, because you're gonna get up day after day, and there has to be something in your mind telling you that it's not just about me. It's
Mm,
not just about what I want. It's not about the money that I want to make. It's about what I need to do for someone else. And this lesson only comes from my grandfather, my Papa Bob, because and I only saw it, but I didn't really see it until he passed. He lived a life of sacrifice. He worked his tail off. He worked his butt off. He loved his family, and he provided for them. And I said, if I can get up and I can do half of that, I think I'll be all right.
man. Recently, Papa Bob's sister passed away. So we want to send our thoughts and prayers to Marcus Tate, my sister Larissa Tate, the entire Tate family, Papa Bob. Uh, I forgot his sister's name. What was her name, Mark?
Essie Bell Richardson,
Yeah, Mama Essie. That's what we call her.
Mama Essie,
We
yeah.
got Papa Bob and Mama Essie. So they're probably up there right now eating a nice juicy peach together, having a lemonade and doing whatever they did when they were children. Uh, thoughts and prayers to you and your family as you go through
Thank
this
you.
time, Marcus Tate. But man, seeds have been, it seems like, laid on you aplenty by both Papa Bob and her. And now you are dropping seeds for everyone else. So I so appreciate you coming on the show tonight. I appreciate your friendship, the brotherhood, the familyhood that we all have now. And you are the LBC OG. I appreciate
Appreciate
you,
you.
bro.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus Tate. We'll see you next time, bro.
Yep. All right.
Peace. I apologize for all of the technical difficulties that we had on tonight's show, but if you are interested in joining for Win in Life Wednesday, I have one spot left for the month of January, which would be next week. If you are interested, that is on January 21st, because January 28th, I will be having the Pod Row lineup with my man Mike Garvey and Larry Delasante, Naylor Taliaferro, and the homie John Pajak will all be joining me to come on here for Winning Life Wednesday, as we will be down at the Synced Live conference down in New Orleans from January. I'll be there January 27th through the 31st, doing Pod Row at the Sync Live conference. So there are still tickets available. You can use Pod Row 100 if you would like to get a $100 discount per day. And we would love to see you down there. And if you are in the New Orleans area, I'll be down there on Wednesday early in the morning, and I would love to do some shop tours down there in New Orleans. Now, let me announce the February lineup, because I already have all of the spots filled, and we will get in February started on the 4th with my younger brother Mario Poston, who just started the lemon lineup. He has a lemonade stand and he is absolutely killing it, looking to do 100K in 2026, as he left his job at Verizon and started a brand new business. So now he has a lemon lineup and he also has Rio's Lawn Care Plus. We are making entrepreneurs out here. Second, we have Jeremy Tallboy from down there in Florida. He is the landscape tycoon on Instagram, and he owns NGLM Landscape Management, and it is a $10 million business down there, doing all types of landscape installs, hardscapes, all types of cool things that my man Jeremy got going on down there. He will be one of the speakers at Synced Live in a week and a half when I get down there. So I'm excited to talk to him and get some knowledge from him on the. Let me see. Let me pull up these dates real quick so that I could give them to you. That is February 4th. We'll have my younger brother Mario posting with the lemon lineup. February 11th, we will have my man Jeremy Tomboy with the Landscape Tycoon, NGLM Landscape Management down there. And the 18th, we have one of my most popular guests that we have ever had on any On the Attack with Mac podcast, and that is BYD, the big dog. My man Michael Bowman with Bermuda Grass Central down there in Georgia. And last but certainly not least, my man, Chris Williams, who has been in business for 8 months. And so we're going to get to hear his startup story and what he did. The name of his business is Lithos Lawn Care. I hope I am saying that right, but he is always DMing. He's always in the comment section, and we got much love for him. If you ever would like to come on a Win in Life Wednesday and share your story so that you can help other people win in life, do me a favor and DM me at Mac_landscaping412, or you can DM me at MacLandscaping412 at gmail.com. As always, I love you. One more thing. Don't forget, there is a meetup coming up here on March 21st. That is the Saturday after St. Patty's Day. So March 21st, we have the Win in Life meetup service business showcase, and we will have lawn care setups, landscaping setups, hopefully some pressure washing setups, painters, fence makers, people bringing equipment from all over the place. Right now, at this early part, we have over 30 people signed up from 9 different states. People will be flying in or driving in, bringing their equipment. This is going to be a great event for you to come to if you're brand new in business, or if you just have a heart to help other people and you want to help people see what their future can hold if they're consistent, like my man Marcus Tate said. There is a link in my link tree on Mac_landscaping 412 on Instagram. There will be one on the podcast show notes, and I will put one in the description of this video if you are watching it. If you're on Facebook, head over to Instagram and DM me. I don't know how to put links on Facebook, unfortunately. So I can't do that. But March 21st, this is 100% free. It is absolutely family friendly. You can bring your dog if you want to. We've had kids there, wives there. My wife and my daughters will be there. We'll be having food. My brother will be there with the lemon lineup, as he will be the official drink person for lemonades and things like that. At the meetup, it will be at this place called the Coxcomb, which is a bar and grill, has great food, and there will be a cash bar available if that is something that you choose to do with the libations. But again, this is 100% free thanks to the sponsors that I will name later, and I would love to see you there, man. Hit the link, sign up. March will be here in no time. So I hope to see you there. But as always, I love you. I appreciate you. I wish you nothing but success. And remember, the creator created you to be creative. So get out there and create whatever you want in your life, because you deserve it. I'm out. Peace.